Hello everyone, long-time lurker, first-time advice seeker, let's get down to business. I've been with my fiancé, Adam, for 5 years, and we've been engaged for 7 months. Mil forced me to stay alone at our vacation apartment while she took him to a fancy hotel and tricked me into skipping dinner. A lovely home together, and we both put a lot of effort into our relationship. The problem isn't with Adam. He tries his hardest to make things better with his mother, but it's wearing on him, and I'm afraid that one day he'll have to make a decision that would be too painful for him to make between his family and me. There are many instances, but I wanted to draw attention to the worst one. It happened about 3 years ago, a month after we bought our house, and his mom needed windows in her house because mold was growing there, and some of them were missing their seals. Today, his mom has a large savings account that allows her to spend her money carelessly on luxuries. She never budgets for anything, so she asked him for $25,000 to replace the windows, and he said he would cover them. When he told me that, I nearly had a heart attack. He said it was a loan and that she would repay him. She also buys a Mercedes every 2 years, gets her hair done twice a week, and has Birkin bags. She said to him that I would let her freeze to death all winter and that he would have to help her. We took out additional money on the mortgage to cover the top-of-the-line windows, but we still haven't seen a dime. I suppose it went into her new GL class. To quote the Bard, neither Adam nor I had planned a vacation a year after the windows dilemma occurred. Since he had never been to Europe and I had lived there from the time I was 3 until I came to America for school, we decided to spend 2 weeks there. We chose Spain and rented a beautiful apartment in Barcelona. Ideal for 2, we organized all of our excursions and tours around our interests. Since Adam is passionate about architecture, we had some tours specifically designed for that. His mother, who had never been to Europe either, felt compelled to join us, so she invited herself. As I had done before, I attempted to appeal to his logical side, but I was unsuccessful. His emotional side, so I just assumed that she would be doing well. Coach wasn't good enough for her, so she had to upgrade her tickets to business. However, she didn't want to travel alone, so she offered Adam a seat so that we could travel together. Since it wasn't a vacation, she didn't want to stay at the apartment. Adam tried to reason with her, but she cried and expressed how sad she was without her husband with her because he died 10 years ago, before they could ever travel to Europe together. She begged Adam to stay with her at the W in Barcelona, but there was no room for me. I stayed at the apartment by myself while she would never get ready in time, so they would not be down until 11 a.m. Even though they stayed at the hotel where we were meant to meet for breakfast, and we skipped the majority of our excursions, I felt like a third wheel and wondered why I had gone on the trip when I might have stayed instead. 3. Adam and I started talking about wedding plans. I would like to keep it low-key because my family is still in Europe and cannot come because my father is very ill, and we are afraid that he might get worse. I wouldn't want him to risk his health for something that isn't worth it. A one-day event, I told Adam I wanted only a courtroom ceremony, followed by a fancy dinner with his mother, sister, and friends. His mother, I repeat, did not take well to this. She said that if her son were getting married, it would have been a big affair for everyone to see. I just keep staring at. I told Adam that I didn't want this, that I specifically wanted a small, really small event, but she won't even listen to him. Instead, she just calls me her and she says, now I think that I'm too good for a large wedding and that my side of the seating chart and the pitiful number of guests is just making me want to cry. It has been happening a lot lately. And this time it's just been too many times. She has been requesting more time with her family, but we don't see her very often because she has friends and activities that keep her busy. My family is too good for America. My dad is /ambassador for. She has asked Adam and me to spend dinner with her 3 times a week, but she is too busy preparing for the wedding. Instead, she has been booking a table at the restaurant for 6 p.m. At times when I don't get home until 6:30, she has simply said, I don't mind that Adam goes out to eat with her so frequently. But the thing she says behind my back is that I came home early tonight after leaving work and was on the road by 4:30 p.m. I am too careless to come home at a respectable hour to eat with her son. I can only imagine how lonely that must be for him. Home by 5 p.m. Adam was just entering the house as I ripped the door open to meet him joyfully. He was thrilled to see me and asked if I could join him and his mother for supper. I told him that I simply needed to. After taking a quick shower and getting dressed, he called his mother right away to let her know that he would be able to make it. He also left a comment saying that he hoped there would be a reservation for 3 tonight. She replied that there was, but she thought they would eat earlier, like 5:30, and she was already on her way to our house, arriving at 5:15, and saying she couldn't wait. She complained about being hungry and how a poor old woman should be expected to wait so his fiancé could satisfy her conceited demands. Adam said, I'll be ready in just another 15 minutes, and offered to call the restaurant and ask them to move us back so she wouldn't hear it. He then went upstairs and asked, When I asked him how long I would be, he replied that his mom was really upset and hungry and asked if I could skip a step for him so we could leave earlier. I told him to go ahead and meet them there, which was okay. When I arrived, I saw that the table was for two. Of course, Adam said we could make room, but she said it would be inconvenient. I had one drink at the bar and then left, came home, and calmed down a little. Now that I'm writing this, I think I need to get that out of my system. I suppose I figured everything out, but regrettably, my relationship with Adam is over. I became aware of this as I poured my heartfelt thanks to the sub for the update. Wow, and I truly didn't anticipate this level of attention because I've pretty much decided on my own that it's the right one, but I'm overwhelmed by your support and feel so grateful in a way that I can't convey in private messages and comment posts. I cried as I read them all. Some of you gave insightful advice, some of you offered unique viewpoints, and others shared similar experiences. I'm at a loss for words, but there isn't a particularly significant update, so I thought I'd give you an update on what has happened thus far and take this chance to express my gratitude. I was about 2 glasses into a bottle of wine when Adam came home. It was very late, and he sat down next to me, looking defeated and just staring at me with hopeless eyes. I asked him if he wanted to talk about it, and he said he needed time to process everything that had happened tonight. Thank you. Additionally, I needed time. He assured me that he would accept anything I wanted to do, so I called my maid of honor and asked if she could come get me and let me spend the night at her house. Adam and I shared a kiss, and he declared his love for me. I left, and I haven't returned from Colleen's house yet. The following morning, I called my office. I'm writing to you from my parents' house in Europe right now to ask for a few more days off so that I can visit my family. I called Adam and explained my plans, and he asked if I would let him drive me. I told him that I was fine going alone with Colleen and that I would email him when I arrived at my family's house. After I settled in, I emailed Adam, and I sent him the thread I had created that Tuesday night, and since most of you wanted him to read it, he has read all of your comments as well as the part where I decided to end things on my own. We had a brief Skype conversation, and he told me that while the thread made him feel raw, he was happy that I had gotten things out. He asked me for a probability, which is a joke in our relationship for handling decisions. I replied that I was 90% certain that this was the end for us, and I was making good use of my time away to truly think about everything. He asked me if I was sure if I wanted to end things or if I still needed time to think. His eyes brightened, and he simply said that we could discuss it when I returned to the United States. I wouldn't end our Skype conversation, and I believe we have a lot of legal paperwork to complete in relation to the house. We also need to collect any deposits that may be available if we have to cancel the wedding plans because his mother didn't cover any of the costs. He's been feeling much better, which is a huge relief, and he's offered me 2/3 of the house's cost, so I could either buy it from Adam and pay off the majority of the mortgage or just walk away and buy myself something else. I didn't expect this, but he said it would give me options should I to do what he thinks I should do. Still, she planned. I have concluded that he simply wants me to be free and that he doesn't want to see both my heart and my bank account broken at the same time. As I mentioned before, nothing significant happened between Adam and me, but I do have more power because of my parents, and I've been spending time with my family, including going shopping with my mom. Update 2. Hello, I would like to start by apologizing for the fact that my brother, my dad's doctor, and his family have been coming over for dinner quite a bit. My sister is scheduled to return from China tomorrow, and I am very excited to see her. I hope that my next update will have a conclusion. I want to thank everyone once more for their continued support and interest in my relationship issues. The advice and shared experiences have made everything much clearer. Adam has also been following along. I apologize for the delay in providing this update. I've been completely overwhelmed at work, and things have been happening at home as well. First and foremost, I would like to express my gratitude to everyone who stood up for Adam. He has helped me emotionally by helping me earn my MBA, and I don't see him as a bad guy. I wouldn't be vindictive, so I wouldn't leave him with any nasty or passive-aggressive remarks. He read my essays when I applied to 2 law schools, helped me prepare for my exams, sat through dull orientations with me, conducted mock interviews, and stayed up all night with me when I was nervous before going to the bar. He was my supporter when I ran my first triathlon, and he is my champion whenever I see a house centipede. Are you guys in for a major surprise? Someone mentioned in the update that if he truly wanted it to work, he would be outside my parents' house. He took your advice to heart and was outside with his bags and a rental on Dream Man, and I would never give up our relationship with him if I didn't feel like I was fighting a losing battle. He simply laughed and said he wanted to talk about everything, and he couldn't wait until I got back. He had been reading all the comments on the threads and felt that they were very eye-opening. He browsed and was deeply moved by the similarities some of the comments made. On the evening of the 24th, I was shocked and blurted out, "What the are you doing here?" He claimed that he had been thinking about what had happened at the restaurant with his mother for the past few days and that The look in my eyes when I looked at him after realizing what had happened and breaking his heart was heartbreaking. However, I was unaware that he and his mother had gotten into a fight after I went to sit at the bar and argued about me and he doesn't feel free, and his sister used to say that she had similar issues, but that has stopped a lot since she moved far away. Many people ask me why I put up with this for so long, so I tried to recall when it started, when it stopped seeming like typical mother-in-law remarks about not wanting to lose my son, and I started to feel like isolation and vehemence. When we first met, we occasionally went shopping together and got our nails done. However, things started to go south when Adam and I bought a house together. The wind incident was the first significant problem I can recall when she realized we were serious about each other. So, back when we were at my parents' house, we had a serious conversation. I told him everything, and he did the same. There was no outright admission of incest or physical abuse. Instead, he just said that he believes he was raised by a narcissist who saw her control over her son eroding his pride and joy. We decided to do this. He decided to return to the United States on December 27th, a few days ahead of me, after New Year's Day, and moved his belongings to a friend's house because he didn't want me to be inconvenienced by the changes he had to make. We have temporarily put our engagement on hold, and he cancelled all of the plans his mother had made. He has been seeing a therapist since I've been to 4 sessions with him since the middle of January, fairly regularly, 2 or 3 times a week. His mother has not returned, and we have sort of started dating again. I've been talking to his sister about the hardships their mother caused her, and Adam is extremely fortunate that he has chosen to give her one final opportunity to see a therapist. Update 3, it's been a while, and we're all a year older now. Adam and I will be writing this thread together. Oh, I gave away the ending. Yes, we are together, in fact, we're married. He has said that if she doesn't, he will stop communicating with her. We have a lot to rebuild, but I know we can do it together. Adam was still seeing a shrink to try to undo some of the harm his mother had caused. At the time, we were living apart. Adam's mother attempted suicide, but she actually called emergency services first and didn't even have time to take more than 2 pills. It's terrifying to think that there was such a thing going on inside his head. I mentioned in a previous thread that Adam's sister had it much worse than Adam when they were younger, but when his father passed away, his mother locked in on him, causing Adam's father to die. My husband, who has always maintained such a cheerful exterior, was traumatized by his mother throughout his life, as was his sister. In an attempt to save him from kidney failure, Adam had donated one of his kidneys. However, his father's body rejected the donation, and he died approximately 11 years ago. This April, his mother took it upon herself to trick him into thinking he had killed his father, leaving her alone because of him. To fix what he did to her, he would treat her better every time he felt he could leave and start his own life and be free, but she would remind him of the windows. For instance, I only heard the part where she blamed me, but I made an effort to listen to what Adam had to say. That was about 4 years ago, but he tried to explain to me that the reason her house was collapsing was because she had lost a man to maintain it after he killed his father, but I was unable to comprehend what it meant. Similarly, she was taking the trip to Barcelona in front of me, and when he was younger, many of these problems had been going back to the present. Adam's psychologist recommended that Adam give his mother a chance to attend therapy. She didn't have any problems with academic or athletic achievement, girlfriends, or anything else. She simply saw her kids as extensions of herself, which was terrible. To work out the problems, he couldn't offer her this at the time because she wished herself away on a cruise to get some much-needed R&R after her suicide attempt. Oh my God, judging by her behavior, you'd think he was asking her to kill puppies. That's why she hasn't tried to get in touch, but Adam has either ignored all of her calls or with unidentified numbers. We had our locks changed, and his employer gave us strict instructions not to let her through the doors. In July, she moved in with Adam's sister, but I know that his sister, with whom I am close, hasn't spoken to us since she married her husband. We wrote off the $25 million, and we may or may not receive it back in probate court as an inheritance. Since Adam is concerned that she will use it as leverage to buy back in, I'm not upset enough about it to put an extra effort to get it back right now. We got married in September, flew to my parents' house this week to renew our vows, and will be taking a honeymoon in Fiji in January, my dad said. He isn't doing so well, but he always seems to fluctuate like that. My brother isn't hopeful this time, though, so we were wondering if you could do us a favor since you have all been so supportive. Adam and I are planning a funeral service for his father so that he can properly process it. Without deceit, for those of you who lost parents, what aided you in obtaining through it? I'm grateful for all that we would have liked to welcome everyone. And you all came to our wedding, but that would be unsettling.